Ryan Gosling brings a knife to a knife fight in the parking lot of a Chinese restaurant. This is spoilers.
Hey now.
With a bunch of money on the ground.
Yeah, he just leaves it. Just leaves the money.
Did you like that shadow scene? It was like on the shadows for a while.
Why do you think it was on the shadows? Or what's the significance of the shadows?
Oh, I don't know.
It reminded me of
brought the
Titanic.
shadows, Josh.
Just pointing it out that there were shadows.
That there were shadows. Yeah, there was also a sun, too.
It reminds me of Titanic when Rose throws the jewel back in the water. It's like, why did you do that? Why did you leave the money there?
Yeah, what was the point of her throwing the diamond?
That's a podcast for a different day.
Lowly James Cameron, thinking his audience is super dumb like Steven Spielberg nowadays. But that's neither here nor there. Because tonight, we are talking about the 2011 classic Drive. I am your host, Stevie. I am recording from Elkhart, Indiana, house sitting for family members right now and their dog, and loving it. Who else we got? Pappy, what's up?
Hey, this is Pappy. I'm recording from Denver, Colorado, in my apartment, just mine, with my cat.
Don't mean to interrupt you, though. I was also going to throw this out there. I want
ahead.
you to name your favorite Ryan Gosling movie. Or the movie that got you to be like, wow, he's pretty cool.
I'll go off the board, not to take a good one early. I'll go La La Land, actually, because
Nice.
he, in a movie where like they don't have the best singing and dancing, like he really holds his own, and like his character is like the most interesting in that movie for me. So I'll go La La Land.
Very cool. Josh, what's up?
Hey, this is Josh recording out of Goshen tonight. Good to hear that you're not having those allergies to the dog. I have pretty bad dog allergies, so it didn't affect you this time, huh?
You don't have a dog?
Or dog allergies.
Oh.
All right. No. I do have really bad dog allergies, but no
Do you
dog.
have a dog?
No!
I thought you had a dog.
Edit point. Anyway, glad to hear you're not suffering from allergies like last time, Stevie.
It was a fever, but yes, I am happy as well.
My favorite Ryan Gosling, I'm going to go way back off the board, and I would say maybe his Mickey Mouse Club performances, but he was also on Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps, which were kind of my
Holy
jams back
shit.
in the day. So he's like deep in our blood, guys. He's deep in like the culture.
He's been a big part of our lives.
Yeah.
That's a murderer's row of late 70s programming, or however old you are. I don't know.
Mid 90s,
90s,
but yeah,
mid-90s.
close.
Yeah.
You're really bad with 70s and 90s, actually.
Money Mike, what's up?
What's going on? Recording out of Elkhart, Indiana. Besides Drive, I really like, I think it's called Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah.
He's really funny in that movie. Where he's like teaching Steve Carell to be cool and date women. He's hilarious in that movie. I really like it a lot.
Tough task.
What about you, Stevie?
Tough task. Oh, man. Well, it's kind of weird. I remember him from Remember the Titans, which is like his first movie.
Oh yeah, he was in that. Sunshine.
And then when he was in The Notebook, yeah, I like The Notebook. Frick off.
Don't you think he captured the nation's heart at that point, not just Stevie's?
Oh, yeah. Women, or actually just teenage girls everywhere, just lost it for him. But my favorite movie of his is probably La La Land.
Oh,
You know I love La La Land, Pap.
I didn't know you were well, I'm going to switch mine to The Nice Guys then. Underrated.
Ooh, that is a good
Oh
one.
man,
give
that's
that
a good
some
one
love.
too. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
But no, La La Land's great.
Well, as I started talking about Drive tonight, me and Pappy were talking about this earlier. We think this movie has a fantastic intro. I'll swing it to you, Pappy, then. What do you like about this intro so much?
I honestly think it's, if not the best, greatest opening set piece of all time, it's one of them. It's the kind of opening set piece that a lot of movies will have where it doesn't technically connect to the rest of the story. Like, think like Temple of Doom, even kind of like Empire, all the stuff on Hoth doesn't really tie into the story. It's more of just kind of like an opening adventure. But the first time I saw it, I didn't like. I was aware of like the Clippers game going on, but the way the whole scene comes together and the way that it's so tense, like every time it's more tense when he's sitting than when he's driving. Like every part of that scene is awesome. Josh, was this your first time seeing it? Did it blow you away?
This is the first time I've seen this movie, but I've actually seen that scene in full before. I didn't know it was the opening scene, but it had just come up on YouTube suggested videos for me too often. Like, awesome scene from Drive. So I finally just clicked it, and a lot of times I like click through those sort of things, but that had me gripped then and like this time watching as well. That's a really cool scene. We like to talk about the NBA a lot too, because we're out of Indiana. But did you guys all, or Mikey, did you catch that it was like a Clippers game, and like at what point did you notice like he's trying to time that all up?
Well, he keeps like nervously checking his radio or whatever throughout the whole car chase scene, and he finally drives by Staples Center just as soon as like the buzzer goes off or whatever. The guy on the radio announces that the Clippers won or lost, I don't remember. But,
they win, but not just that, he like name drops Blake Griffin too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
and Glenn
that shit.
Baby Davis.
Yeah, it's such a fucking flashback to like
I
early
wonder if-
2000s.
Yeah,
basketball.
I wonder if Blake Griffin even realizes that he's mentioned in this movie, because I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, but the Clippers win, and then as they win, he's pulling into the parking lot, and of course all of the fans are coming out, so he just like incognito sneaks away amongst everybody in the crowd. It's like it's like as soon as you realize what he's doing, you realize that he's planned out this whole thing, and he's just really good at what he does. He's like a master getaway driver.
It just sets the stage so well too, because this movie is LA as fuck, and like everything in the opening scene is super LA, like the highways, the Clippers, like everything, like
The neon
Even-
pink credits.
exactly, yeah. Oh, dude, and the music too. Like as soon as that opening scene ends, like Night Driver comes on. I'll take you to the The title sequence comes up. That's so badass. I get goosebumps every time, every single time.
I do like how this movie starts off with kind of like a middle adventure, like you guys says. It just kind of drops you into something that's happening current, but it has nothing to do with the story.
But it does kind of tie in because it gives some clues about his beginning, his character, and then I think actually one of the guys that he helps get away approaches him at like a Greasy Spoon restaurant a little later in the film.
Yeah, he does, and Christ, I had a question lined up, and then Josh interrupted. But Mikey,
No,
go
well, you
ahead with
see
your
it-
thoughts. Sorry I interrupted you.
You see Irene too, like in the elevator, like when he's going up to his apartment, and it's like the same shot as later in the movie, like right after he smashes that dude's head in like a pumpkin, like the elevator door closing with her. So, but
I
I
have
wasn't.
a question for you guys. I know it's not. I know he's extremely quiet in this movie. Is there any inkling in your guys' head that he's a little Forrest Gumpy?
He's got to be on the spectrum, right?
I've gone on like IMDb before they took down the forums and like tried to find out what his deal was. Everybody thinks he's like autistic or something, which
Just like a savant?
yeah, like he's just off. But I don't know. I think that's kind of reaching. He's definitely weird because he doesn't hardly ever talk throughout the movie, and he's hyper violent. So
Well,
maybe.
I was talking to Stevie about this too before the podcast. And Stevie said no IMDb. Who directed this? Like
Nicholas
Refn?
Winding Refn.
Yeah, I think he was like a big Road Warrior fan. Our first episode, don't listen to it; it really sucks. But the driver in this movie is basically Mad Max, like very quiet, but also kind, like willing to help things around him, and drives a car. Like I think there's a big Mad Max influence going on. Like Mad Max meets L.A. in modern times and gangster shit.
Well, there's a couple really big clues in the movie that say he's not normal. One is when Bryan Cranston calls him out on, normally dudes get mixed up with other people's women. They don't get mixed up in paying helping the husband get right with their family. And I do think every time someone talks to him in the movie, he's got kind of this delay before he kind of responds. Like he's taking things in a little differently. And then also just it may explain like how good he is at driving. Like there can be kind of like a savant sort of side to autism, and maybe that's kind of part of it.
Could be. Did anybody else, the first time you see this, do you like right after that opening sequence and you see him in a cop uniform, where you're like, oh shit, he's a cop, and then you're like, oh wait, it's a movie set?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that.
I distinctly remember being tricked like that.
Pappy, I have in my notes cop reveal, and then that's scratched out and it says actor reveal.
That little scene is great because Bryan Cranston is like trying to get him to do another dangerous stunt that wasn't really planned for that day, and he's like, of course I got you an extra $500, but we will be splitting that evenly. And he's just like, Ryan Gosling is just like drinking his coffee, just nodding. It's like he doesn't even care. He's so good at his job, he's just like, fine, whatever.
So I've always kind of wondered this, they never explicitly state it, but does Shannon, Bryan Cranston's character, know about his moonlighting?
Well, he provides him with a car.
Right.
So
I think he's the one that sets up the jobs for...
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I always kind of got the idea that he was the one who got him into it. Because he has that one line where he's like, my actual garage made $30,000 all of last year. So
Yeah,
he's in deep, I think.
I gotcha. But after this stunning intro of sorts, there is quite a lull period. When I first saw the trailers to this movie, I thought it was going to be kind of like a shoot 'em up actioner. And boy, is this movie not, which is also a good thing. There's a slow period of building the relationships between Ryan Gosling, Shannon, Irene, and Benicio. Was this kind of jarring for you guys, or did you guys like appreciate how it slowed down and kind of developed the characters more?
Well, I mean, coming off of that first scene, it's such a great setup, and then it comes to like a really grinding halt in terms of action wise, but it's doesn't mean it's not entertaining.
Right.
It's just you're just.
I was
kind
on
of
Reddit
like,
today, and people are always just like, after the first 10 minutes, this movie gets really boring, which I don't agree with.
No, I love it because like you have that scene in the grocery store, and maybe that's kind of to your point, Josh. He's a little off because then he sees Irene again, for like the second time after the elevator, and he like goes into a different aisle, like just to completely avoid her. But then he's out at his car, and there's this like super sweet shot that's like kind of rotates halfway around his body, and he's putting his groceries on his car, and it's like you can tell he's like trying to decide if he's going to help her or not, and like basically that decision leads to everything that's about to happen in the movie. But my favorite cut of the whole film is like from him walking over to her. I don't even think he says anything, and just smash cuts to them in the elevator, and the little kid is just staring at Ryan Gosling. It's so perfect.
yeah,
that little kid is pretty hilarious throughout the whole movie.
I thought
There's
that was
like
kind of a cool line where they're watching the TV, and he's like, is that the bad guy or the good guy? And the kid's like, duh, it's a shark. It's the bad guy. And Ryan Gosling's like, there's no good sharks.
Want a toothpick?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like Ryan Gosling, I don't want to say this as like it's bad, but if he's autistic, he's also like super smooth, like good with the kid. And then also that move in the elevator where he's like goes from making out with the chick to bashing that guy's head in like the smoothest move of all time. I mean, he's got some skills. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of why I don't think that he's got any kind of like special needs other than maybe some like social anxiety or something. But like,
That's
he's
what
just
I thought, yeah.
he's just too cool, and like I feel like the character Driver, like I mean, he doesn't even have a name. Like he's not really. The movie's grounded in reality, but he's kind of like a superhero in a lot of
He
ways.
is.
Like just
Yeah,
super
definitely.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he stomped a guy's head into mush. which was awesome to watch for the first time.
I haven't seen a head cave in like that since Pan's Labyrinth bottle scene.
Nice throwback.
But yeah, Irene, Carey Mulligan's character, and the driver start to fall in love. You think everything's going smoothly, and then her degenerate husband shows up out of nowhere. They throw a big party for him.
Poe Dameron.
Yeah, how did he fall
Poe
so far
Dameron.
from being in Drive to being in The Last Jedi?
I love Oscar Isaac though. This is 2011. He's kind of coming up. This is like before
Ewan
Ex
Davis.
Machina, before Llewyn Davis. Yeah, his part's pretty small too. He's only in the movie for like 10 minutes of screen time, maybe 15.
Well, there's a deleted scene where when the Russians first pull him out, you know how they like beat him up and bloody him up? But before that, they have like his head covered and they pull the cover off. And he's like, who talks first? I talk first? You talk first? And they're like, where is it?
Shut up. Fuck you. Fuck you. I was like captivated there for a second.
So was I. I was like, what?
It's like, how did he find that scene?
You just like, and then Mankind threw what's his
Yeah.
face off of the cage.
Off of the cell.
Yeah.
Undertaker fighting back. He's fighting back. They're right above us, folks. And I don't like it a damn bit. Oh, my God. Look out. Oh, man! The God Almighty! The God Almighty! They killed him! Oh, my God. As God is my witness, he is broken in half!
I do like how this movie isn't by the numbers, though, for the fact that when I was first watching this, I thought there was going to be a lot of tension throughout the whole movie between Stander, Oscar Isaac, and the driver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought, okay, so this is where the movie's going to go. It's kind of pitted against those two.
This guy's been telling me a lot about you. Says you've been coming around helping out a lot? Yeah, helping out? Is that right? Is that right?
And like Josh said, that he ends up getting beat up by some Albanians. And he owed some protection money from prison while he was in there. And this is what kind of kicks off the whole movie, really, is very job gone wrong situation. They go to rob a pawn shop, and Mikey, who's that woman that plays the redhead?
Christina Hendricks.
Her
She's,
boobs are
on Mad Men.
massive. There's no hiding those things, just massive bags.
That's
Sorry,
what she's known for.
it really is.
I didn't know we had Brett on the pod tonight. I thought he didn't watch it in time.
Her whole thing is confusing. Like, I mean, like I think I understand it now because okay, here's what I think happened. So it was a hit gone wrong. The guy Oscar Isaac owed money to happened to be Ron Perlman, right? Or no, it was Ron Perlman's money they stole.
It was
No, Ron Perlman was trying to steal that money after they had already robbed it.
Right, it was
because that
an
money
inside
belonged
job.
to-
Like they were in the Cadillac thing, or the right.
yeah.
that Chrysler 300 or whatever it was. Which how was that keeping up with the Mustang?
So easily. It was actually faster than the Mustang.
Is that real?
Maybe it was souped up.
It could have
I
been
don't know.
souped up, but as
But okay.
as we said, go ahead.
But why do they shoot Christina Hendricks' head in? Like
In
why-
slow motion.
That's the part that like confused me on the first watching. Like, maybe there's a text that said "get down" or something. I just didn't understand.
I think
Why they
they
killed
were.
her.
I think it was kind of like a witnesses thing. Like
Yeah, I think
they
she
were-
was
I think-
collateral damage, right?
I think they were all supposed to die. I think that's kind of like they weren't just supposed to get held up. They were all supposed to die.
So he was cliffhangering / Dark Knighting them, and was going to pick them off one by one, all the accomplices.
I think
Right.
maybe they were just going to hold him up for the money, on the highway, but since
And then
that,
just shoot him.
well, maybe not, because maybe it was like the business owner, the pawn shop, kind of went rogue, and once one of them was dead, they knew the whole thing would get blown open if there were any witnesses. I'm just speculating.
It is kind of a confusing double cross, though, because I had to imagine what happened was, I mean, that guy Cook, who's that greasy pimp strip club manager dude, obviously knows Nino. He works for him. And I have to imagine that they were texting Christina Hendricks' character, Blanche, asking, "Where are you guys?"
Yeah, and she answered.
Like, "We're coming to get you." And she answered. And that's what Ryan Gosling was looking at. But that's what really kicks off this movie, because he takes a shower rod and stabs a dude in the neck.
A shard of
times.
glass, right?
Was it glass? I thought it was a shower rod.
It was a curtain rod or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely a rod of some sorts.
And there's definitely some shades of Evil Dead when he comes out of the shower with blood all over his face. He's got like an ash
Oh,
look
man.
to him right there.
He
And
never
he's just
cleans it
shaking
off.
And just stares at the camera.
Yeah.
That whole scene is so awesome. I love that scene. Christina Hendricks' head just blows the fuck up. It's great. It's a great scene.
Like, there's no separating her red hair and the blood that is flying on these walls.
Gosh.
It's pretty awesome.
And then, yeah, I mean, it's all like a very smooth slow motion too. Ryan
Pretty
Gosling
gratuitous.
goes, yeah, he throws a mattress at the door for some peculiar reason, or just trying to cover himself, and ends up getting like buckshot or shotgun shells.
So the door's hard to open. It's hard
Yeah.
to open the door with the mattress up against it.
This is also true. And he goes in the bathroom, punches a dude with severe strength, and takes a shower rod and stabs him through the neck.
Fear strength.
Severe, I mean, with great strength does this happen. And then he
They-
grabs
also,
his
they
shotgun.
don't show it, but you have to imagine that he's just getting sprayed in the face nonstop by this
Blood.
blood spurting out of this dude's neck.
all over his sick scorpion jacket.
I do love that jacket.
So
And
then he takes I think it's the shotgun from Fortnite, based on how powerful it is, because it's definitely a one-shot kill.
Don't know.
Yeah, then he shoots the dude that was coming through the front door. And
From
he just
across the
shakes
map.
and says nothing.
Yeah, seriously, snipes him with the sniper shotgun shot, no scope.
Okay, but that's the thing, is like you were saying, like that the movie kind of goes into this lull when they're driving through like the LA River, or like real human beings playing, but because it lulls you into kind of like that like more melancholy parts, like the violence really pops. Like it really stands out. Like if it was 90
Yeah.
minutes of that kind of violence, this film would not work at all.
I agree, Pap. When she gets shot in the head, it's like super hyper violent, and it comes out of nowhere because there's no mention of those guys coming to get the driver and Blanche, and it all just kind of like kicks off right there. And this guy who directs this movie, all of his movies are like super hyper violent, so it's like.
Does
a
it remind
theme
you
with
of
him.
David Fincher with maybe Fight Club or like Zodiac, with like super gritty, real looking violence?
Well, a lot of the blood was added in post.
Yeah.
So
This is the guy that has made that movie Bronson with Tom Hardy and Only God Forgives, which is another Ryan Gosling movie, which is also like hyper violent.
You don't like that movie, Stevie?
No, it made no sense. Mikey, do you like that movie?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Why?
Because it's like this movie, it's super stylized. Like everything.
Yeah, but this movie had a plot.
Well, so does the other one. I mean,
Basura.
it's the way this guy directs. Everything he does is like super stylized, and it's all in his own kind of like vision. So it's
Yeah.
it's his movie. But I think it looks great, and he definitely gets violence right and stuff like that. Only God Forgives might be a little more confusing for sure, but it's still
Yeah, it's not
it's
as
like a really
straightforward.
great looking movie.
But they've been double crossed and Ryan Gosling seeks out Cook, who pretty much set the whole operation up for him, and walks into a strip club with a hammer and beats the living tar out of this dude's hand until he gives up. That he eventually reveals that Nino is the one that was going to double cross him. What did you guys think of Ron Perlman's performance in this?
Nino? I think
Am I
he's
the only
awesome.
one that thought it was so weird?
He's over the top, but it's awesome.
Now that is one motherfucking fine-ass pussy-mobile motherfucker. Damn.
I love it.
I can't say anything bad about him.
fucking motherfucker. What's he saying?
It's one fine pussy mobile motherfucker or something like that.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston's just telling him how ugly he is, basically.
He's like, he couldn't find pussy if he was in a whorehouse.
Speaking of Cook, every time Bryan Cranston talked about that character, hearing Bryan Cranston say Cook, I immediately thought of Breaking Bad. Like, it was so distracting.
Speaking of Ron Perlman, before we get off him, though, big shout out to Andy FX, Instagram follower. He is like a super fan of Ron Perlman. Like half the things he posts are all Ron Perlman related.
But Josh, are you a super fan of Ron Perlman in this movie?
Well, you know what I was going to say about him? I think what was interesting was him and Albert Brooks are kind of like the two bosses. And Ron Perlman, like you guys are mentioning, he's just like flying off the handle, dropping F-bombs, and then you find out he's like the hidden boss. But really, at the end, it comes out that Albert Brooks is like the real
human being, you could say.
Icky one, I guess you could put it, like the real dark side.
Yeah.
The way he murders some people is pretty ridiculous.
Well, that's
Knives?
All not. Yeah.
Those medieval looking knives?
Switchblade guy.
Albert Brooks is talking to the driver, like right after he agrees to finance like the side plot of race cars, which I don't.
That lasted
might
about
be
5
something
minutes.
That might be something that could have been trimmed from this film, but I don't care. I still fucking love it. But yeah, so he's talking to him about that, but he's telling him this story of how like Ron Perlman broke Bryan Cranston's hip one time. He's like, so that's the guy I got to watch out for. And he walks away and like it just closes up on Driver's face, and Driver's like, no, this is the dude. Like the fact that he even just told me that story means he's the dude.
You think he caught that at that point? I didn't catch it.
I think he did. I don't know. It's just because there's like a I don't know. It's hard to tell. He has the same fucking face all the time. I guess, but never mind.
I thought Albert Brooks was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like his performance is awesome because even though he's a terrifying villain, I think like there's something somewhat likable about him, if that makes sense.
I think he honestly was pumped about supporting a race car team. He mentions that like 3 times. I was so pumped to race cars.
I could have seen it. My name right there in lights.
But since
no one's made a go at this.
Since no one's bringing it up, I think the most haunting murder is definitely Albert Brooks's murder on the crippled Bryan Cranston. It's really sickening and like cold. It's so cold.
I thought it was humane.
Don't worry. Don't worry. That's it. It's done. There's no pain. It's over. It's over.
Shh, it's okay. It's okay.
It's kind of like Saving Private Ryan, where he like buries that knife in the Jew's chest, right?
So you're confusing Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan. Oh no, the other Jew movie.
Inglourious Bastards?
No, do you guys not remember that part? In the building and the translator is like hiding in the stairwell.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, but you're really frustrating me and our dozens of audience members right now by pretending. So.
But I thought he actually liked Shannon. And that's why he did it the way he did. I mean, he stabbed Cook in the neck a solid 8 times. I think he just did it at the arm so there wouldn't be a ton of pain and it would happen quick because he actually liked him.
How much do you love what he does with the knife? Like when he he just washes it off and puts it in his box of other knives.
Oh, dude, he's got to use antiseptic on that. You don't know what's hanging around. He puts the dish soap that he uses for his food directly on the blade and just like scrapes it around and then scrapes it off on the faucet.
The Dateline in me was like, there's blood traces all over that sink.
Yeah, that's what I was
they can forensically find all that stuff real quick.
His kitchen would probably look like a Jackson Pollock painting if threw up a UV ray on there.
When he stabs Cook to death, is there a little moment where he's like silently asking Ron Perlman if it's okay? And Ron Perlman's like, yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really weird and kind of funny, actually.
Are you talking about how you kind of gave him the nod?
Yeah, like, I guess you can kill him.
Apparently that nod meant, yeah, stick a fork in his fucking eye. It's like the little sign.
Yeah, you can tell he definitely did not like Cook at all. But as we keep moving forward through this movie, Ryan Gosling goes after Ron Perlman's character Nino as he's celebrating and getting hammered with hookers in his pizzeria. Is there ever a moment where his pizzeria is actually open?
Can I please set the scene for this one?
Please,
Because it's one of my favorite.
My favorite shot is here too, but go ahead, Bab. Yeah.
Was your favorite shot the Goodwill billboard shot?
No.
Okay.
I didn't notice that for the first time. Go ahead, Pep.
No, that's what I wrote in my first Letterboxd review. I think maybe that I ever wrote was on Drive. I wrote, "Remember Goodwill for all of your Halloween needs," because it just sticks out so much in my mind. Like, this movie is so well. Like, the location scouting in this movie is so great. Like, the fact that they find some little creek in LA and like the way they use like the different parts of the city, but like, they picked that billboard on purpose, and it's so big, and like walking back and forth between his car and the restaurant, like there's at least 3 shots of it, and it's so silly and goofy and like distracting, but
that's the director's way to give back to the community. Give that Goodwill a shout out.
I guess, but it's also funny too because it's like Ryan Gosling's got a mask on, and the billboard's for masks, so it's kind of like it kind of works on a couple different levels. But he looks in the window, and Ron Perlman is just like busting a gut, laughing, and right next to him is this woman who is just not laughing at all, and he's like clearly laughing at her.
Clearly, a stripper or a prostitute or something, just not having any of his joke at all.
In slow motion, Perlman just doubled over, cracking up at her. All of this while opera music plays. But where was your favorite shot in there, Josh?
Is the one you actually breeze by when he's looking in the window. It kind of like a slow reveal from the top of his brow down to his nose with that somewhat realistic looking mask he has on. It's just so...
the stunt driver mask?
Yeah, it's just so like startling because the inside is like this high-end party with hookers and gangsters, and through the window is just like Mike Myers waiting. It was pretty cool. I took a picture of it for Instagram.
How did nobody notice him in the window? Because he looks like a freak.
They were all laughing at Nino's joke.
About the prostitute. Apparently.
At the prostitute's expense.
Like, if he would have been seen, did he have something on him to just like bust in there and start hammering people's hands, or...
Yeah, because he doesn't carry a gun. I mean, I don't know.
He'd figure it out. He's a driver. He'd stick toothpicks in their eyes.
Exactly. But as Ryan Gosling tracks down, the driver tracks down Nino and rams his car off of a cliff. How do you think he killed Nino in the ocean as like Nino's trying to run away? Like after he gets like thrown from that cliff, do you think he just drowns him or just beats him to death?
I thought he'd drown him, but probably like a slow drowning based on how much of his time he was taking walking down there.
Kept bringing him up after he was almost at his last breath.
Fed him to a shark.
What is dead may never die, but rises.
Well, that's the only thing that can account for Ron Perlman's escape strategy, is that he's fucking wasted, because he just like kind of jumps out into the waves. I don't know how he's gonna escape the driver at that point, or what he's thinking, but it made it real easy for a driver to catch him and drown him.
After this, the driver makes a call to Bernie, Albert Brooks' character, I had never heard of the story of the Scorpion and the Frog before this movie. Had you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had not. But throughout this whole movie...
Do you want to give us a rundown on the story? Yeah.
I don't know it that well. I didn't know before this movie. You tell us, Pap.
Oh, I don't really know. It's like, what is like the frog's giving a ride to the Scorpion?
Yeah, and then he stabs him with
the
a
river?
stinger before they get over, and he asks him why he does that. And the Scorpion says, because it's in my nature.
That's in other movies too, right?
Is it?
The end scene where both of them, I don't know who's a Scorpion and who's the Frog, but when Ryan Gosling and Albert Brooks are like in the diner,
Albert Brooks is obviously the Scorpion.
They could both leave, but they choose to take a walk out to the car where they both know something's going down there, and they.
Well, the crazy thing is, after Bryan Cranston's character is killed, Ryan Gosling picks up the money, which is like right above Bryan Cranston's head. So Albert Brooks could have, if he spent 5 minutes looking for any money, he would have found it in the trunk of that car, and the movie would have been over. Because throughout the whole movie, the driver is just trying to get rid of this money. He doesn't want it at all. He's just trying to get out.
But he's so naive. It's kind of frustrating. He's like, I'll give you back the money and it's all good, right?
I think he knew he was going to take a blow. That's why he had that knife on him.
I don't think he was too worried about himself either. I think he's just trying to get that family out of it.
Well, at that point, no, but that was like the fourth time he had tried to give the money back. Like, at what point does he stop? And I just think that was a bad idea in the first place, I guess, the first time he tried to give it back.
He was just worried about Irene, Josh. And little Benicio.
Well,
So the story of the Scorpion and the Frog has been in The Crying Game, Natural Born Killers, Drive, and an episode of Star Trek Voyager. Just from this one site, yeah. So it's been around.
Wait, you said it's been in Natural Born Killers?
Yeah, I don't remember that part.
Neither
but
do I. It's
according
a crazy movie.
Poe Dameron should have already taught him the lesson that there's no really getting out from these guys' thumb once you're under. So I really don't understand. I think that's probably my biggest problem with the movie is not only Ryan Gosling's trying to give the money back, but how he's set up as such a meticulous planner. But then, like, there's things he does that just defy explanation. And even Ron Perlman calls him out at one point, like, you're not very good at this, are you, boy? And he's really not. He's really not.
I think he's like super optimistic. He tries to find the optimistic side of everybody, I guess, because he even helps out Oscar Isaac after he's clearly been running around with the wrong people. So, and Oscar Isaac calls him his friend after he agrees to help him. So I think he's...
And that's why his name's Driver and not Negotiator. That's not what he's good at.
But they meet at a Chinese restaurant, agree to hand over the money. That's when Albert Brooks just goes full on Albert Brooks, takes out a knife and stabs the driver in the tummy. And the tummy busts out a knife of his own. Did he pick that up at the Chinese restaurant, or was that he just bring that?
I assume that was one from home. He's got enough.
I don't know. It's kind of like the new Donald Glover music video where the guns just come out of nowhere. He just kind of pulls it out. He's got it.
Then he stabs Albert Brooks' character to death.
This is America.
And he just sits in his car for quite some time.
Did you guys think Driver was dead?
Eyes open, never blinking.
I did the first time I saw it.
Just with those beautiful Gosling eyes wide open, dead.
Just staring out with his white boots covered in blood. He wakes up after minutes of just, I imagine, bleeding out from his intestines, and drives off with leaving Albert Brooks and the money in the parking lot, and that's how it ends. Would any of you guys want to see a sequel?
I have to imagine Ryan Gosling has great health coverage to just leave all that money in the parking lot. Just totally not concerned about his tummy.
Can you imagine Shannon, Bryan Cranston's healthcare plans? They're probably so cheap and so shady.
That's why a veterinarian picking the bullets out.
Oh, there is that scene where he picks the bullets out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's probably a vet.
Did you say something about a sequel?
What'd you say, Stevie? A sequel?
Yeah, but didn't you guys want to see a sequel to this movie, even though the director said it's never going to happen?
Well, have you heard that, like, have you seen A Place Beyond the Pines? It's supposed to be, like, a pseudo-sequel. Or just, like, people have thought because...
I love that movie.
Ryan Gosling plays a similar character. A really good driver, except he drives a motorcycle in that movie.
And he robs banks.
Yeah, and he robs banks. That movie's great if you want a
That is
sequel,
a fantastic movie.
unofficial sequel.
They should do like a pull a Star Wars and do a young driver, a story of a young driver, and do before.
Please no.
Because I do wonder, like, they kind of left that mystery pretty wide open. Like, he just showed up at Bryan Cranston's shop one day, and you don't really know if he already has a dark past. I think you have to assume he got his skills somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was telling Stevie earlier, I like the idea of, like, keeping it like Mad Max if you did do a sequel and make it this kind of, like, serialized.
Different
where the stories really don't connect too much other than, like, the main character. Like, yeah, just put Driver in, like, Vegas now. For some reason he's there. And, like, give him a dog or something. You know what I mean? Maybe he's an Uber driver and shit goes down. I don't know. There's so much to do. Sequel.
It would cheapen it. And you know it.
But like Fear.
Now that all these cars drive themselves, these guys can just get away driving a Tesla.
Yeah, really, his job's
Don't
getting
need a
taken by
driver anymore.
machines.
Fury Road doesn't cheapen the Road Warrior, even though there's, like, the Thunderdome in between. You know what I mean? Like, people just focus on the good ones.
Well, do you guys have any last thoughts before we get into yes or no's?
I have one.
I wanted to mention the
go ahead.
smack. Oh, mine's really quick, Bab. I just wanted to mention the smack in the hallway. That was like the most stereotypical Hollywood Foley smack I've ever heard, and I really appreciated it. It's well met.
That was a good final thought, or a good point. I have a question, and I want to step away and let you guys see what you guys think. But I was looking at, like, what the negative reviews are, especially on Letterboxd, because I gave this like 5 stars. I think this is like a perfect movie. So I was curious to what the people who don't like it say. And Steve, you kind of talked about it. Either one, it's boring, or the second criticism I see a lot is that the women in this movie are treated pretty shittily. Like, Irene is really, really dumb and not helpful and kind of damsel in distress, and Ryan Gosling basically kind of just beats the shit out of Blanche, who may or may not have even been in on it in the first place. So I don't really... I mean, it's not enough to bother me.
That's why they gave it a bad rating?
I don't think Irene's dumb
That's
by
what
any
people's
means.
complaints were. And I mean, she kind of falls for Oscar Isaac's trick when he says he was beat up by drunk kids. Maybe she believes it, maybe she doesn't. But I don't know. I just want to know what you guys think.
I think she was just put in a tough situation. I don't think that she was dumb or naive. I think she's just trying to make the best of what's happening around her. Because if you think about it, I think she probably got pregnant by Standard when she was 17 or 18, and probably married him while she was pregnant, and then didn't have the greatest life, and he went to prison, and it's just her trying to make the best out of a bad situation.
Why do you think she didn't go with Ryan Gosling then at the end?
Ryan Gosling had to leave.
Yeah, he left her.
He said that we could take the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he said you could.
No, he
said I would go and look after you.
Yeah, he does say that. But I mean, I think that's kind of, she's just kind of shocked at that point. And the way Ryan Gosling handles it in that scene isn't the most deft way. He's like, by the way, I helped with the robbery.
Also, she sees
Do
him
you want this money?
bash a dude's head in an elevator.
Yeah, it does come kind of fresh off the head bashing with the foot thing.
That's a great first kiss moment.
Yeah.
First kiss and then the straight up murder of a man
Give her one she'll never forget.
2 feet away from you. Yeah.
But Josh, what do you...
But
like
people
a
said that
Zales
too on
diamond.
Letterboxd, Pap, that
Well,
this movie was boring.
I
in
want to
certain
hear what
parts.
Josh thinks about the feminist lens aspect. I don't want him to dodge the question that easily.
I'll say something about that after Josh.
No, you can go ahead, Mike.
Well, I just think it's ridiculous to assume that these women are weak or incapable of, I don't know, progressing the plot or whatever on their own. It's just those are just the characters that were written. Blanche obviously crosses him, so she's gonna get abused, and she works with terrible people in the first place. It's not like she's in any sort of position to demand respect from these men in the first place. And the whole thing about Irene being dumb, I think, is a little overblown. She's obviously just a single mom trying to make the best of a situation, like Stevie said. I don't think there's any maliciousness in the way that they were written on purpose. I don't think it's any sort of dig against
It's not like
women.
this was a Scorsese movie.
No, it's not that bad. And I mean, Christina Hendricks is dumb, but so is Cook or whatever his name is. And I think Irene is probably
These are all just seedy people, anyways.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have
all those people are.
great morals.
But I think
yeah.
like between Bryan Cranston, I mean, not even him, because like Pappy said, he's definitely in on it. I think Irene's the only one that's really living like an upstanding life and like trying to do right. Maybe the driver is in his weird way, but he too has chosen a life of crime. So, like Stevie said, there's no better way to put it. She's like put in a bad place, and she's a working mom doing the best she can. I think that's a hero in her own right. So anyone calling it anti-feminism,
She's a real human
yeah,
being.
a real human being.
No, I'm totally with you. And like she has that that was not the tune. She has this great line.
I forget it.
Country cover,
Where
country cover.
she says something like Ryan Gosling's like joking, like I was about to call the cops, and she goes, "I wish you would." Like that, like rips your heart out. Like that's really good acting, and it shows a lot on her part. I'm with you guys. I don't think there's anything malicious or that's a fair, even criticism of this movie.
I think she was sad that Stander got out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just think it's crazy that people, like, anytime a woman isn't a fucking superhero now in a movie, it's just, oh, this is obviously anti-feminist view towards women. It's like, no, that's just the character. Like, you don't have movies unless there's conflict. You obviously need conflict. These women are in conflict. Ryan Gosling is not the greatest person, so he will abuse these women if it has to come to that. It's like he's just trying to stay
He
alive.
pimp slapped the
I guess.
hell out of Christina Hendricks.
She might not be a good driver, but she is good at raising a kid, which I think we could all realize is maybe a little more important in life. So
No.
she's the real hero.
Driving's more important than raising a kid, but
Let's get into yes or no's. We will start with Mikey. You saw this before anybody. You saw this in theaters, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I saw
Let's start with you.
Yeah, I love this movie. I think you really did a disservice to yourself if you didn't watch it in theaters, because it's really fun to watch in a theater. I love everything about this movie. I love the cinematography. The music is great, which I don't think we talked about enough, but this whole album, if you've ever listened to it, is great front to back. Even the costume design, Ryan Gosling looks cool as fuck in this movie. Everything he's wearing, I want to own.
You could not pull it off, Mikey. Sorry, bud. None of us could. Maybe Mikey could.
But I think everybody that was cast in it is great. Albert Brooks seems like a weird choice for a mob boss until you actually see him slice up Bryan Cranston's arm. That's a pretty terrifying scene. I love it. I'd give this super rock hard Viggo Mortensen. Yes.
Yes.
Decent. Josh, how about you?
Yeah, this is a yes for me. I wasn't sure how I felt about the very beginning and the purple pink cursive script, and but I do think this movie did a good job from front to end, being stylized enough, but not up its own ass like the movie we did last week was. Enemy, Jake Gyllenhaal. But I think Ryan Gosling's performance is right up to par with what Jake Gyllenhaal's was in that movie. He does a really good job. So does Albert Brooks, which you guys have pointed out. It's a solid yes.
Cool. Papster.
yep, this is also
Viggo Mortensen, solid.
rock hard, throbbing, a moment from ejaculation. Yes, for me.
Whoa.
I
Is that a new level?
I think this is a
ranking?
perfect movie. Every time I watch this movie, I'm like, I just get so stuck in. I was just gonna have it on while I was cleaning, like right before this podcast, and every scene's like, oh, I love this part. Oh, I gotta stay for this part. Now this part, and all of a sudden it's been like 100 minutes has gone by and I've watched the whole movie. So
Maybe you just didn't want to clean your damn apartment, though.
it's pretty messy, but I disagree totally on the pink and purple cursive. I love that shit. It reminds me of Purple Rain.
No, it won me over.
I don't know. I love everything about this movie. Hard yes for me. I haven't seen any of the director's other films though, so it's kind of disappointing that it's kind of a mixed bag. Or it sounds like it is from you guys, but
This is his shining light.
all right, yes for me though. Focus on the positive.
This is a hell yes for me. This is one of my favorite movies. Actually, yes, this is one of my favorite movies to watch. I absolutely love this movie. I think Albert Brooks is probably the best actor in this movie. He's such a haunting villain. And he does a great job. And just, Pat brought this up earlier, but the scouting of LA and how they went about kind of showcasing the whole city is awesome. And this is the movie that launched Ryan Gosling into superstardom. So crazy, awesome, hell yes from me. Is that yeses all
I
around?
thought you and Pappy hated L.A. movies made in L.A.
No, I hate movies about Hollywood. Stevie loves
Maybe.
LA movies.
Okay.
I do love LA movies and movies.
I also
about
love Ron
Hollywood.
Perlman.
Both
Two
fingers
movie,
a
two movie
classic.
club, right?
Ron Perlman. Which other one do we do?
Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates?
Yeah, Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates. There we go. 2 movie club. Is this first? Ryan Gosling's first?
We did Blade Runner 2049.
No, 20. You did Blade Runner.
I don't remember that
Yeah.
podcast at all.
Cool.
Which do you guys think he was better
you-
in? Ryan Gosling, Blade Runner 2049
Drive.
or
Drive.
Drive. Basically the same character though.
I think he's a
Doesn't talk.
little, I don't know, better. Blade Runner 2049, he's asked to do more. Like, he has to interact with that cyborg chick, her thing. I don't know.
Are y'all ready for trivia?
Yay.
Okay. This game's called many things, but this week we're going to call it Tag Your It. I am going to read a tagline from Ryan Gosling's filmography. You have to name me the movie.
Oh boy.
Now we can either go by this way. First to answer, or I can just go one by one and ask you. Some of these are softball. Don't get upset. Whoever gets the most right. There's 18
How many
total.
of us are there? 3? Does that work?
Yep. Yep, works out perfect.
How many of us are there?
That's a relief.
Yeah.
If I miss
Yep.
it, does someone have a chance to steal?
Ooh.
Someone does have a chance to
Oh,
steal.
fuck. Okay. One person or 2? How does that work?
For the next person in line after you, and then they would
Okay.
get it right. And then they get to answer the next
And you
question.
don't want us to look at a list of Ryan Gosling movies, right?
Correct. That's why I had you all close out
So who am I
IMDb.
behind? Am I behind Josh or Mikey?
It's Pappy,
Okay,
Mikey,
good.
Josh.
Cool. Can steal from Josh.
Number 1.
Thanks, bud.
History is written by the winners.
I don't know. History is written by the
So-
winners. The Notebook.
Sounds like something you'd write in a notebook.
I don't. Yeah. I think I might miss it.
Wrong to Mikey.
Is this Remember the
It
Titans?
is Remember the Titans,
the
Mikey.
fuck?
First on the
The
board.
steal. God damn it.
I'd be surprised if any of you got this one. Let the mind games begin.
This is to Mikey.
Isn't that the
Yeah,
Dark?
this is Mikey.
Isn't that the Dark Knight Returns?
Frick off.
Let the games begin.
This
Yeah.
is mine?
Yeah, this is yours. Let the mind games begin.
Let the mind games begin. That sounds kind of ominous. I don't know. Is it a movie? No. Is it
Is it a movie? No.
Nice Guys?
It is not.
I'd-
Josh, you can
Oh,
steal if you
yeah.
want.
Is it Blade Runner 2049?
It is not. Pappy?
The Notebook.
It is not. This is a movie called Murder by Numbers.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Never heard of that.
Is it good?
It's with Sandra Bullock.
Have you seen it?
It was okay.
All right. Nice.
Okay, next
Hey, now.
we have Josh. Behind every great love is a great story.
The Notebook.
It is The Notebook.
I told him that.
What?
Pappy, your turn.
All right.
The search for true love begins outside the box.
Oh fuck. The search for true love. And the Notebook only has one tagline, right?
Yeah.
Blue Valentine?
It is not. Mikey.
I've never
Ooh,
seen
that's
that
a good
movie.
guess.
I just know it.
It's an incredibly sad movie. I wouldn't recommend. I don't know. Is it Half Nelson?
It is not. Josh,
Can you read-
this would be a movie up your alley.
Can you read me the quote again?
The search for true love begins outside the box.
Out of the box. Out of the box.
I don't think he's in the movie The Box with Cameron Diaz, but I forget who stars with her in that.
The search for true love begins outside the
Heard
box.
you.
Just because you say it louder doesn't mean.
No, but the
clue
box was
any
not about
clearer.
true love.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just say Nice Guys because I have no idea.
Is that everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was Lars and the Real Girl.
Ah, that's a crazy movie.
Yes, it is.
If you've ever seen
I
it.
wanted to see that.
Okay. Josh, you're up.
Wait.
That's a
is
great
it Mikey?
tagline too.
I thought I just went.
Oh, you just, okay.
Yeah.
So, Mikey,
Yeah.
if you look close enough, you'll find everyone has a weak spot.
Half Nelson.
It's not Half Nelson.
Damn it.
George?
Let's go with Nice Guys again.
It's not Nice Guys. Pappy.
As it turns out, we only know 5
Yeah.
Gosling
Blue
movies.
Valentine?
Is that really your answer?
Yes.
No.
Oh, god damn it.
This was-
Maybe the weak spot was love. I don't know.
This is a movie called Fracture.
Okay.
I have not heard of some of these movies.
Nope.
Nope, they're pretty obscure.
It was only until Drive that all of his movies were like super
Yep.
recognizable.
This is why
That's
we're
what we're
doing
doing
this. Josh, you're up.
Yes.
The perfect love story until it became the perfect crime.
La La Land?
Wow, you have not seen La La Land.
I have not. That's my real guess.
Pappy?
The perfect love story before it became perfect crime. I have no idea. I'm gonna say Blue Valentine again.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Mikey.
It's fine.
I don't know.
You don't know? This is a movie with Kirsten Dunst called All Good Things. Came out in the late 2000s.
All right, pitch me a softball, Stevie. I'm ready. Put it right here on the tee for me.
A love story.
Fuck you. No. That's it?
Yep.
A love story. La La Land.
Nope. Mikey.
Blue Valentine.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say Nice Guys. It was going to be so funny.
I'm so pissed. That's. I told him
Is it
that
Mikey's
one.
turn? Is it Mikey's
Well,
turn?
I'm not hosting next week.
Yeah, I'm running away with this
There
one.
are no clean getaways, Mikey.
Drive?
It is Drive.
Is that mathematically win it for him or?
No, there's many more.
Good.
Okay,
Am I
Josh.
eliminated?
Dozens of listeners just clicked off.
No. There's only like 6 more. All right, Josh.
Yes.
No names, no badges, no mercy.
Nice Guys.
Not Nice Guys.
Oh shit! That was
Pappy.
gonna be my guess. I don't know. What else was he in? I can't.
Mikey?
Wait, I'm not done. La La Land.
No.
No names, no badges.
No mercy.
No mercy. So another movie with cops? I don't know. Blade Runner 2049.
This was Gangster
it's
Squad.
Oh god, that movie's terrible.
Yes, it is.
Terrible movie.
Is it George?
Yep.
This is a true story.
Of a La Land.
Nope. Pappy?
The Place Beyond the Pines.
Nope. Mikey?
Nice Guys.
No, this was The Big Short.
Oh shit, he is in that.
Pappy just dropping the ball left and right.
Well,
All right, is this Pappy's turn?
yeah. We can always do Grease next week.
Nice pair.
The Nice Guys.
It is the Nice
Gosh
Guys.
dang it.
Finally. Make it take it,
still
right?
set up
Like
well.
to go again?
No, Mikey. Here's to the fools who dream.
I hate this stupid game.
Crazy Stupid Love.
It is not Crazy
La La Land.
Stupid Love. It is La La Land, George.
Josh, have you seen La La Land?
Oh damn it.
We already established in this pod that I did not.
Oh. You'd like it.
All right, Josh, you ready?
You ready?
One moment can change your life.
Half Nelson?
It is not Half Nelson. Pappy.
Place
What is
Beyond the
Half
Pines?
Nelson?
It is The Place Beyond
Oh
the
shit,
Pines.
that's two. Am I still in this?
You are still in this. This is getting real good.
Mikey has 3, right?
Wait, is it
Yeah.
Pappy's turn next?
Who went first, Josh?
I just went.
Yeah.
Then yes. Oh fuck me.
The key to the future is finally unearthed.
What? Sounds a lot like Time Bandits. Ryan Gosling in. I don't know. I don't even have a guess.
Oh, that would have been such a great turnaround for you.
I know.
Mikey.
It doesn't sound like Blade Runner, but that's what I'll guess.
It is Blade Runner 2049.
No, that makes so much sense.
I think that's.
Mikey
I think
has
that's
1,
it.
2, 3.
Why is Josh trying to
4,
end this game so badly?
4.
Because I don't like it when
Pappy
Stevie
has-
picks games that outs us all as not knowing much about movies.
Nope, you don't. 1, 2.
It's bad for the
Hey, you
pod.
guys still got a chance. Is that Mikey's
We have a
turn?
tagline. It's a true story. That's not even a good tagline. I don't feel bad about not knowing that.
No, it's not a great tagline at all. All right, Mikey,
Thanks,
you
Stevie.
ready?
Yeah.
Ambition seduces, power corrupts.
Jeez, I don't know. I really don't know too many Gosling movies, I guess.
Mickey Mouse Club.
Half Nelson.
It is not Half
One of these
Nelson.
has got to be Half Nelson.
Josh.
Damn it.
Are any of these TV shows?
No, they're not. All movies.
Goosebumps. You can still guess it. It was a movie.
Gosh, Goosebumps the movie.
Only God Forgives.
Nope, that one didn't have a tagline.
God damn it. I was so pumped about remembering that.
Mikey?
He already guessed.
You did?
Yeah, I already guessed. Yeah.
Everybody guessed?
Yeah.
That was The Ides of March.
Ooh, never gonna watch that.
Nope. Real boring. Who's up?
Josh.
Josh?
Secrets don't let go.
That sounds like Blade Runner.
Oh my god. What did I say last time? Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they did like a Are You Afraid of the Dark TV movie.
That's not that.
Okay. Well, that's my guess.
Okay, Pappy.
Okay. A half Nelson is a wrestling hold, so maybe it's half Nelson.
It is half Nelson.
I wanted to stop guessing that. I felt like such an idiot.
1, 2, 3.
I have 3.
4. 1, 2, 3. Pappy's in this.
I mean, I don't know
Tell
anymore.
you what, if someone can get this next one, I'll give you the game.
Okay.
Ooh. What?
I don't know if that makes much sense for Mikey, but okay.
For those who are playing at home, if you get this one, who we're playing against, you win. All right.
If you get it at home, we'll send you a T-shirt. You don't have to prove that you knew it before
for
Stevie
real.
says it.
All right, Mikey. Crime, confusion, compassion. They're all just a state of mind.
What the fuck are these taglines? These are so weird. Damn. I really don't know. I don't know. I can't think of any other Gosling movie.
Josh, you got an answer?
Yeah, maybe they did a Mickey Mouse Club to TV movie.
Pappy, you got an answer?
Nope. Nope.
This was a movie called The United States of Leland.
Leland and Stitch.
This is like right after Remember the Titans.
Now I remember there's an alien comes to Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
George, I mean,
Leland and Stitch.
I'd be stunned if you just threw the game right now. But this is crazy. This is stupid. This is love.
Throw the game, Josh. Send it to overtime. Stir the pot. Stir the pot, Josh.
Dude, I think we've guessed all the ones I knew and didn't know. I'll just say La La Land again. Maybe that.
Oh my
Can
God!
you say this
There's two
tagline again,
taglines.
Stevie, for me?
It's
Crazy.
in the tagline.
I know. Say this tagline again. Just prove my point. Crazy, stupid love.
This is crazy. This is stupid. This is love.
Crazy,
Well,
stupid love.
La-ti-da.
Is that not half Nelson?
The nice guys. Blue Valentine.
Goosebumps.
La La Land. So is it tied? Did I just tie it?
Yeah, you just tied it.
That doesn't even feel right.
I did not think in a
you,
million
Gosling.
years this would happen.
Damn you.
Let me
I
get an OT question.
assumed-
God damn it.
There should probably be like a closest to type thing, Stevie.
Yeah, with all three of us.
Nope, you're out.
No, you're donezo, Josh.
How did you know? This is crazy. This is stupid. This is
This
love.
is stupid. This is
I
love.
gave up on this trivia 10 questions ago.
You changed the
Didn't
outcome of
notice.
the game.
Josh was pretty upset when none of his guesses
If I would have
Nelson.
noticed it, I
Josh
would've said
becomes a real poor sport when people realize he has inferior knowledge of
Josh
movies.
might be shoeless joeing this again to somehow throw the game to wear me and Mikey out, so that way there's gonna be more room for the Long brothers on the next episode.
Oh God.
it. It's the long con.
Exactly, the long.
I should
con.
have had that last one, Stevie. I'm so sorry. I did it.
You're the worst.
Stevie was even like, I don't think this will matter. Oh, it matters.
Yeah, it mattered apparently tons.
Should we just do Spoiler Man now, and then we'll come back?
No,
okay,
I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
not editing anything.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the worldwide gross of the movie that made Ryan Gosling super famous? Which movie is The Notebook?
Yeah, I'll go. I think that
Trick off, Josh. Worldwide gross of The Notebook. Pappy, go.
Shit. $100 million.
Pappy gives me 100. Mikey?
Worldwide, you said?
Worldwide gross.
More or less.
Say 175.
With the comeback of Spoilers history, Pappy,
Only God can judge me.
Motherfuck.
115,603,229 on a budget of $30 million. Pappy, you are the victor.
I wonder what Gosling's top grossing movies are. Ooh,
that's a good
alright.
Wait,
So let's toss it to Spoiler Man real quick.
It's lit.
And we're back.
Pappy, what movie do you have for us? this upcoming week?
I tossed around a couple different ideas, but we're actually gonna go with take this podcast back to its roots. Take my picks back to their roots. 80s fantasy. Let's go Labyrinth by Jim Henson.
With David Bowie?
And his bulge.
Nice.
Oh, the movie that almost ruined my childhood.
of
Cannot
his
wait
bulge?
to spoil that. Dude,
Man,
he had a baseball
is
in there.
cod piecing it up.
He had a straight
cod
baseball.
piecing it up.
Anyway, thank you for
kid,
listening, and this was Spoilers.
Fine ass pussy mobile motherfucker.
Get it?